Welcome to the highlights of the Assetto Corsa GT3 Championship, hosted at United Racers League. After the opening two rounds, it's Mihail Markovic and Florian Kotz who are tied on 25 points, with Robert Horvath in third place. In the Teams Championship, it's MRS GT Racing who hold a 17-point advantage over second place team Pannonia Racing. Third place is Reiter Engineering in a closely contested championship.
We continue our European journey as round 3 of the championship takes us to the home of the British Grand Prix, Silverstone. Originally used as an airfield, this once ultra-high-speed circuit has undergone many changes before arriving at the more technical layout we race today.
Due to technical failures, we were unable to bring you Florian's pole lap, but let's ride on board with the German as he takes us on a flying lap around Silverstone.
As we approach turn 1, it's important to get the car as far over to the left so you can carry as much speed through the fast right-hander, taking plenty of curb at apex. Hug the curb on turn 2 to give you the optimum line on the approach to turn 3. Important to get 3 and 4 right for a fast lap. Heavy braking into 3, smoothly through the apex but not too much exit speed as you need to get the car back to the right for the approach into 4. Through loop, and you'll be looking for a smooth exit to accelerate hard through Aintree and onto the Wellington Straight. A quick breather for the driver now as we head down to the old circuit in Bucklands. Braking into the corner, it can be easy to lose a rear end as drivers look for the late apex. Into 7, which is a slow right-hander. It's important for the drivers to find the right exit line and not be fooled into applying the power too early. Down the old start finish and again hugging the left hand side for the approach into Copse. Always a thrill when you get this one right. Brake at the change in track surface, down to 4th, 2 wheels on the curb and power out using all the exit. Very slippy if you go beyond the curb and easy to pick up the penalty here, so very much a risk reward exit. Take as much curb on T10 to lessen the angle into 11, dab on the brake into 11, again taking plenty of curb. A late apex on 12 to give a wide approach into 13 where exit speed is paramount for the run into the Hanger Straight. The entry to Stowe is quite bumpy, which can easily unsettle a nervous car. Another fast right that will again reward the correct line but punish anyone slightly errant with a penalty or high speed spin. Down into 16 and 17, which is a slow left and right handers at Vale. Important to take the apexes here to carry maximum speed through club, which takes you onto the start finish straight.
So, Florian Kotz starts on pole position with a time of 2:00:05. Florian with an extra 15 kilograms of weight for this race after his win in the Algarve. Joining him on the front row is Mihail Markovic in the Nissan, over a second behind, the Croat carrying 25 kilograms after his win in the last round. It's the Camaros and Nissans that fill the first 5 places. Simon Fillingham put his Ferrari on 6 in his home race. Ivan Gridello in his first race of the season is in P10. Mitchell Smith in 11th. Fabrizio Micheli in 12th, Hervé Dobrovic in 13th, Mikhail Klitsch in 14th, Peter Backus in 15th, Sando Donadel in 16th, and Valérie Loyer round up the starting grid at Silverstone. The technical difficulties alluded to earlier mean the race will have a rare rolling start rather than the usual standing start. Drivers weaving around trying to get heat into the tyres. It can be very easy to ruin your race here before it's even started. A grid full of drivers compacted into a short space, all ducking, diving and weaving around. It's so easy to hit someone. Florian up to speed quickly on the run down to Vale as he looks to get a jump on the field. As we exit club, Florian crosses the line to get the race underway at this cloudy Silverstone circuit. Tony has a little look at Mihail going into turn 1, but already the field are quite spaced out. 17 drivers start the race and they all get away safely up into the first corner. Onto the Wellington Straight, and we can see that Florian's already opened up a nice gap to Mihail. Cycling through the field as the cars approach Bucklands for the first time. So halfway round the first lap, and it's Florian who leads the field. Miheville in second, Tony third. Then it's Robert, Peter and Simon. Behind the Ferrari it's Miguel, Manlio and Gregory. Then it's Eben, Mitchell and Fabrizio. Watch as the cars dance around the fast complex of Maggots and Beckett's. It really is a beautiful sight watching these GT3 cars go through this complex. On board now with third place Tony in the Nissan at the end of the first lap. Tony shows to the inside to put pressure on his countryman. Miheville defends into 3 while Tony takes the outside line. The 2 Camaros of Robert and Peter close behind. Tony right under Miheville's wing as they exit the loop and head down the Wellington Straight. The Pannonia Racing Team cars of Robert and Peter also locked together. On the way down to Brooklands, Tony pulls alongside Miheville and has the inside line into the left. Miheville yields and Tony is up to P2. Miheville challenges back on the run into Maggots, but Tony manages to stay in front in this 4-way battle. Peter in the 34 Camaro closes up to his teammate on the run down to Stowe. Looking back from Robert as the 2 Hungarians charge down to Vale. Peter gets to the apex of the left-hander first, but Robert holds on round the outside and squeezes Peter out through the right-hander of Vale. Just in front, Miheville runs wide, losing valuable speed into Club. Robert grasps his opportunity and initiates the overtake into Abbey. Miheville's not giving up that easy though, and brakes real late into the village. Robert gives way and pulls off the undercut in the exit of turn 3. Into the tight turn 4 now where things are going to get really close. On the exit of the loop there's nothing to choose between Miheville, Robert and Peter. Robert spins after getting a wheel on the artificial grass and is lucky not to take Peter with him. Although there was contact and Peter may well have some damage, Robert's able to recover having lost 5 places. Miguel Santiago Carew in the black Audi has Italian Manlio Liguori and the green Lamborghini close behind. Miguel runs a little wide into Stowe, giving Manlio a chance at the inside. Side by side as they run down to Vale. Who's going to be latest on the brakes? Good clean racing between the 2, and Miguel manages to retain the position. The drivers still fairly well bunched together as they stream through to start lap 5, Simon Fillingham just about holding on to the Camaros and Nissans in front. Manlio Liguori still attacking Miguel, this time as we go down to Brooklands. Manlio, currently 4th in the championship, looks to get a good exit out of Ruffield. Through Woodcote and Manlio was close enough to challenge Miguel into Copse. Indeed, Manlio looks to the inside on the entrance to Copse, and looks to have the better of Miguel on exit. On the run down to Maggots, can Miguel offer any resistance? It's very close between the Lamborghini and the Audi, and now the Camaro has joined upon the pair too. Through Beckett's it looks like there's slight contact, forcing Miguel to run a little wide, gifting the recovering Robert 7th place. At the front we've got Manlio and Robert side by side. At the back we've got Miguel and Gregory side by side. Into Stowe and the power of the Nissan has got the better of Miguel. It's very tight in the battle for 6th place. Manlio looks like he's held on through the exit of Stowe. Miguel's Audi is slow, does he have a problem? Into Vale and both Eben Gudelo and Gregory Olivier get past Miguel's struggling Audi. Mitchell Smith in the green Team 87 Ferrari also closing in. Fast forward a lap and Manlio runs wide out of Stowe, giving Robert the opportunity down into the Vale. The Lamborghini has the inside line, but the Camaro's hanging out round the outside. Into the right-hander and there's contact, causing Robert to spin again. Miguel's Audi seems to have recovered, as he challenges Gregory going into club. The Nissan runs a little wide, giving Miguel an easy pass through club, and up into 7th place as he starts his 8th lap. Florian now has his gap up to about 6 seconds from Tony Ukit. Tony carrying an extra 5 kilograms after his podium in the last round. As we look back up the Wellington Straight, Miheville is defending hard from Peter. The Pannonia Racing Team driver moves to the outside for the entry to Brooklands. Side by side as they go through Brooklands, but Peter having the inside line through Luffield. There's contact on exit and Peter is sent into a spin. It appears Miheville slows for Peter to recover, but Simon is fast approaching behind. An opportunity here for Simon as he closes right up to Miheville. The Ferrari's got the momentum, will he make a move into Copse? But Simon decides to back out and give Miheville some room. The Ferrari's aero is upset through Copse and Simon loses the back end. The Ferrari driver plagued by more unpredictability. Simon recovers but's lost 4 places to his rivals. In the background, Even and Miguel are racing hard into Maggots. But more disaster strikes for Simon as his back end steps out once again and sends him into the barriers. While Simon struggles to recover, the same fate would await Sando Donadell in the black Audi in the background. Robert Horvath carrying an extra 30 kilograms this race after his 2 second place finishes at the Algarve and Paul Ricard is looking to recover in the 35 Camaro. Mitchell Smith and Fabrizio Michelli also looking to close in on Gregory. The BMW in prime position to attempt the pass down onto the Hanger Straight. As we ride on board with Mitchell in the Ferrari, will the BMW be able to get past? Mitch with the inside line and latest on the brakes should take the corner. On board with Fabrizio now as he has a good exit out of Stowe and will be looking to outbrake Mitchell into the Vale. They're side by side as they go through the left-hander. As they come through the final part of Vale, there's contact which unfortunately sends Mitchell into a spin. Fabrizio in the BMW carries on his way. Mihevil Markovic, currently in P4, is the first to pit on lap 11. We pick up the battle for 11th between Mitchell, Jorge and Simon. The Team 87 Ferraris were looking for a strong result here at their home Grand Prix. Jorge in the Nissan attacks Mitchell, but Mitchell is able to fend off the Nissan and retains P11. Simon closing in on Jorge 2 now. 2 Ferraris have the Nissan sandwiched at this point. Into lap 11 we go. The racing continues at 2, 3 and 4 and down into the left-hander of Brooklands. Nothing to separate the 3 cars at the exit of Luffield. Orbe tries to put his nose in front, but Mitch keeps him at bay. On board with Simon now as we travel down the old start-finish straight and into the fast right-hander of Cox. Orbe attacking Mitchell down the inside, which makes them both run a little wide, allowing Simon to get a good run on. Not a lot of room for Simon here as he tries to overtake Orbe and his teammate on the run-up to Maggots. Squeezes alongside Mitchell but drifts wide and makes contact with the Nissan, resulting in another spin off the track for the Brit, who will be so disappointed after starting this race strongly. Lap 12, and in the distance we see Robert Horvath pitting from 6th position. Simon limps back onto the track and immediately has Valère in the BMW on his tail. The Frenchman, with the momentum going down the Hanger Straight, will be hoping to pull off the pass into Stowe Corner. Into the braking zone, and it appears Simon leaves plenty of space for Valère to take the position, and up to 14th. Through Brooklands, and it's Miheville in 8th, Mitchell in 9th, Hervé in 10th, and Mikal in 11th. Mikal, with the momentum through Chapel Curve, will be looking to take the Nissan down the Hanger Straight. Hervé not making it easy for Mikal as he hugs the inside line, but the Camaro has enough grunt to get past before the corner. Simon, having regrouped after his spin, looks to close in on the BMW of Valère. The BMW driver makes it easy for Simon with a small mistake going round Stowe, then dives into the pit lane for his pit stop. Simon up to 14th. Manlio in the Lamborghini heads down to Vale. Miguel peels off into the pits for his stop. Even Gridello comes through in the foreground. Lap 15, and the black Audi of Miguel Santiago Carew exits behind Robert Horvath. Here we see Miguel coming through Abbey and Farm Curve, and Manlio's exiting the pits after his stop. Miguel's managed to close the gap in the pit lane, and who will come out on top through turn 3? Miguel keeps it smooth around the outside of 3, giving him the best line into the loop. Neither driver wants to lose position as they both fight for the place. Side by side as they exit the loop, Miguel tucks right underneath the wing of the Lamborghini. Both cars look to be evenly matched as they head down the Wellington Straight. Miguel has the inside line. Can he make the move stick round Brooklands? Manlio runs a little wide, and Miguel takes full advantage, taking P6. Race leader Florian Kotz pits for fuel and tyres at the end of lap 16. Second place driver Tony Ukic also does the same at the end of lap 16. We rejoin the battle for 6 now, as the light fades to cloudy Silverstone. The Belgian Audi team driver Miguel Santiago Carew looking to fend off Italian Manlio Liguori. The Belgian a little defensive into Kotz, which allows Manlio to close right up on exit. Incredible speeds as they race through the Maggots-Beckett complex. Down the Hanger Straight, and again Miguel looks like he's taking a defensive line into Stowe. The Italian right on his tail. Cut back to Simon Fillingham as he desperately tries to make up time on the guys in front. I fear the Englishman has left himself with too much to do though, after his earlier mistakes. The 2 Dalmatia GT Nissans head down the Hanger Straight, although separated by 13 places. On board with Mitchell Smith now, as he looks to close in on Mikael Klisk. Mitch, who has been hampered in his efforts by having to use a joypad, is hoping his return to Sydney in the next few days will help bring him better fortune in the upcoming races. Team 87 have a new outfit in the paddock this season, and they're hoping their driver selection will soon cause to turn many heads. Not seen much of the number 4 Audi today. Sandow Donadel racing for the Belgian Audi team WRT, teammate of the number 1 car driven by Miguel Santiago Carew. The Italian driver been struggling today after qualification woes and his earlier spin into the wall at Beckett's. We pick up the battle for 15th place between Jorge Dobrovic and Valère Loyer. Valère in the BMW, participating in his first race in this season's championship. Onto the hanger straight now. Will the power of the Nissan be able to take Hjorve past the BMW? It appears not, as Valère keeps comfortably ahead. It can often pay off to wait for a driver to make a mistake, rather than forcing the issue and making one yourself. Through the fast right-hander at Abbey, round farm curve and into village. Hjorve closes right up under braking and unfortunately hits Valère. As we must do here at URL though, if we hit another driver we must wait for them to recover. And that's exactly what Hjorve does. Same place next lap and it's incredibly close again under braking. Through village cleanly this time. Front runners Miheville and Robert closing in on the duelling pair. Unfortunately that's it for the Belgian Audi team driver, as Sando Donadel is forced to retire. Back on track and Robert is trying to make his way past backmarker Valère. A bit sloppy between the pair there, but fortunately no harm done. Both Miheville and Robert have found their way past now, which leaves Valère and Hjorve to renew their battle. Onto the Wellington Straight, and Hjorve looks to have a good opportunity on the run down into Brooklands. Hjorve dives to the inside, but the BMW is late on the brakes. Round Brooklands, and it appears Hjorve has taken P14 from Valère. The Croatian a little wide on the exit of Luffield though, giving the number 26 BMW a chance to close right in. Through Copse and Valerie applying pressure on Hjorve. The Nissan runs wide through 12 and presents Valère with the opportunity to overtake, which he does and takes back the position. Further round the lap and Hjorve looks down the inside into Vale. A slight mistake by Valère, who falls behind the Nissan again. These two drivers having a great scrap for P14. Heading into the closing stages of the race now, it's Miheville in P4 and Robert in P5. Robert, in the Pannonia Team Nissan, has a good exit from Stowe, and is right up with Miheville going down to the Vale. Miheville defends the inside line, leaving Robert to try his luck around the outside. Side by side on the exit of the left, Robert forced onto the curbs, and the Croatian just manages to keep his position. Through to complete lap 28. Through Abbey and the Nissan runs a little wide, which leaves Miheville defending into village. Robert dives up the inside into the loop and has slight contact with Miheville, but Robert lets Miheville recover before renewing the battle. The last few corners now for the 44 Camaro. Through Club, and it's Florian Coates that comes through to take the checkered flag here at Silverstone, making it 2 wins from 2 starts for the German. Tony Ukic in the Dalmatia GT Nissan comes home second, 12 seconds behind the winner. Season 2 champion Peter Abelovsky brings a first of Pannonia Racing Team's Nissans home in 3rd place. Battle for 4th continues into Maggots and Beckett, Miheville still just in front of Robert. On the exit of Beckett's, Robert gets real close and tags Miheville's rear end. Miheville spins and is forced off track. Robert does the gentlemanly thing though and waits for Miheville to recover. But they now have backmarkers Hjorve and Valère for company as they head down into Stowe. A distracted Miheville makes a mistake and unwides in the exit of Stowe, which presents Robert the opportunity he's been waiting for, and takes P4 from Miheville down the Vale. So, after an eventful final lap, Robert Horvath of Hungary brings the second Pannonia Nissan home in 4th place. The winner, last time out at Paul Ricard, Croatian Miheville Markovic, has to settle for 5th place. In 6th, the Belgian team Audi of Miguel Santiago Grau, closely followed by Manlio Liguori. The number 42 car of Ivan Gridello in his Audi R8 crosses the line to finish 8th for Saint-Elok Racing. Fabrizio Micheli of Italy takes the flag to finish 9th. In 10th, the Frenchman Gregory Olivier. Michael Klisk, teammate of race winner Florian, brings home the Camaro in 11th. The first of Team 87 Ferraris comes round the final bend as Australian Mitchell Smith finishes 12th. Second Team 87 Ferrari, Simon Fillingham, will be disappointed with his 13th place finish. Hjorbe Dobrovic in the number 23 Dalmatia GT Nissan finishes in P14. Valère Loyer in his first race at United Racers League finishes 15th. Here's the classified results from a cold, overcast Silverstone circuit, with Florian, Tony and Peter taking the podium positions. Sando Donadel and Peter Backus did unfortunately not make the finish. After his win today, Florian Kotz has opened up a 10-point gap to second place man Robert Horvath. The two Croatians, Mihail Markovic and Tony Ukic, currently tying for third place. In the Teams Championship, Pannonia Racing Team of Peter and Robert were top point scorers today, scoring just 1 point more than the Reiter engineering outfit of Florian and Mikhail. However, it's still MRS GT Racing that topped the standings after 3 rounds. Round 4 on the Season 3 calendar takes us to the legendary circuit of Spa-Francorchamps in Belgium. Subscribe to Simon TV for highlights of future races and head on over to UnitedRacersLeague.com to join in the fun.